Good morning, lovely grade threes. It's time for another maths lesson with Miss Brown. Today, we're going to use the vertical format to add 3-digit numbers. And we're still using our word problems. All right, so I need to tell my brain what it needs to go and find. Okay, I know I'm going to be adding today. So I need to remember about plus signs. I need to remember that my numbers are going to get bigger. I know I'm going to have to do some regrouping today, so I need to tell my brain to remember all of that. I am going to use Rucksack because I've got a word problem. I need to remember all my addition facts. I need to have my place value chart in my head. Now, I've also drawn a place value chart in my book because I'm going to use it for my vertical format, and I've got my place value chart here to work on. Okay? Let's have a quick look at Rucksack again. I know we've looked at it a few times now. Every time I get a word problem, I need to use my Rucksack to organize my thinking. I need to read the question very carefully. I have to understand the question and underline all the important information. I have to choose a correct method. Today's method is going to be our vertical format. I'll solve the problem, make sure that I've answered the question, and then check that my answer's right. And we know that a good way to check is to talk to somebody, see if somebody has the same answer as you, check with an adult, or use a calculator. Okay, let's have a look at our problem for today. All right, I've got my highlighter ready. My dad collects stamps. He has 351 in a book and 456 in a box. How many stamps does Dad have? Okay. Yep, okay, I think I understand that question. It's asking me that I've got 351 in one place, I've got 456 in another place. How much does Dad have altogether? Okay. I'm going to use my highlighter now. It's not important that Dad collects stamps. Dad could be collecting rocket ships. Doesn't really matter, unless I've got stuff in here that doesn't relate to stamps. Okay, so Dad's got 351 that he's put into a book, and he's got 456 that he's left in a box. So messy, Dad. How many stamps does Dad have? Right, and I know that I'm adding these two numbers together, so I'm going to put my addition sign there to remember that I'm adding. Right, now I need to put my two numbers into my hundreds, tens, and ones chart for my vertical format. My first number I've got is 351. And I can hear where all of those numbers go. 351. Okay, my next one says 456. 456. Beautiful. Where's your ruler, Miss Brown? Here we go. All right, I'm going to rule a line because now I've got my vertical format. I'm going to put my add sign here, my plus sign, so that I remember what I'm doing. Yours doesn't need to be as big as mine. Mine's pretty big because I want you to be able to read it. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to add each of the columns. Because I know I'm adding, I have to start at my ones column and move across. Otherwise, I'll get lost. Here we go. I've got 1, add on 6. 6, 7. Okay, I can do that one. No regrouping there. Good work, Miss Brown. Okay, now I've got 5 tens and 5 tens. This is where I'm going to have to regroup. 5 tens plus 5 tens is 10 tens. And I can't just write 10 tens in there, can I? Because I need to keep my tens to the biggest one is 9 I can put in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, I know that 10 tens is 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this 100 here is going to go and hang out in the hundreds column, and I'm going to put them up there so I remember to add them in. And I'm going to leave 0 tens here because it says 10 tens. Okay, they just moved apart from each other, so I keep them separate. Now I can add up my hundreds column. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 4 more is 8. Now I need to see if my answer is probably right. I've got 400 and a bit and 300 and a bit. I should have more than 700, but less than 900. And my number goes in there. I can check my sum if I want to. 1 plus 6 is 7. 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 4 more is 8. I think I'm right. Now I need to answer my question. How many stamps does Dad have? Dad has 807 stamps. There we go. Problem solved. Dad's got 807 stamps. I've left you a couple of problems to do on your lesson plan. You need to do the same thing. In your book, you need a vertical format. You need to add from the ones, then do the tens, and then do the hundreds. Remembering that if I get a 2-digit number, I need to separate them and say that the biggest part of it is going over to another column. Good luck. Contact your teacher if you have any problems. See you later.